Howdy folks, Greyhawk 444 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. Today we're going to have a gaming vlog. We're going to talk about the very first Salt Lake City Gaming Con that just happened not this last weekend, but the weekend before. We are going to talk about, I was a guest host on Dungeon Crawlers Radio. We're going to talk a little bit about that, and we're going to show a couple of indie games that I discovered at Salt Lake Gaming Con. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, so not this past weekend, but the weekend before. And if you're saying, well, why so? Why didn't you do a video? Before now. I've been extremely lazy. There you go. So anyway, it wasn't this past weekend. It was the weekend before. It was the very first Salt Lake Gaming Convention, and it represented everything. They had tabletop gaming. They had the regional representatives from Dungeons & Dragons Encounters, so they were running public games for D&D. They had Magic the Gathering. They had board games. They had all that, and then they had a lot of video game stuff going on. And it had a turnout, someone was saying between 20 and 30,000, which is, for a first-year convention, I think is pretty good. It seemed to be, I was there on Saturday. I was not feeling very well, so I didn't stay very long. I walked around, chatted with some folks, met some people, tried out a couple games, checked out some of the vendors, and then I was out of there. Like I said, I wasn't feeling good, and I just came home and crashed. So, but while I was there, I did find a couple of really interesting indie games. The first one, where's my stuff here? The first one, and I'm going to put some splash screens up here for you. This one is available on Steam. It's called Frayed Knights, the Skull of, and they spell it, creatively, but it says the Skull of Smackdown. And like smacked is S-M-A-K-H, and then down is D-A-O-N. So, but if you say it phonetically, it should be the Skull of Smackdown. And it is a, so here's a splash screen real quick for you. So it's a game with a lot of humor in it. It's first person, like old school role-playing game. I would say the closest thing that it reminds me of is Eye of the Beholder. If any of you played the old Eye of the Beholder game, it was actually a Dungeons & Dragons product, a computer game. It was first person. This is what that kind of reminds me of. However, this one it's got humor as a major element in it. The dialogue of all the characters that you play 4 different characters. The dialogue is meant to be part of the entertainment because there's quite a bit of humor involved, and even like the title is a play on words. It's kind of cheesy, and that's part of the fun. The graphics are not great. They are meant to look like an old school game, and it's about $11 on Steam. I'm gonna buy it. Now, what I demoed at the convention was the sequel, and it is Frayed Knights. Con of Wrath is the name of it. So there you go. I should tell you the kind of humor that's involved. Anyway, so I did demo that, and the part that I played was a lot of fun. So for $11, I'm going to pick it up on Steam. I'll probably even do a little in-game footage for you guys so you guys can see what it looks like and everything. And actually, I'm going to put the website down below in the description. I'll put a link to the website. It's Rampant Games is the developer, and I met the owner. And there's actually a YouTube video that shows the in-game for this one, not for the sequel. The sequel's not out yet. So anyway, that was a fun little game that I found. The other one that I found was called Can't Turn Back, and it's by a company called Poor Shelter. And I'll put a link below for you as well on that one. here's a quick little snippet of the game. Just a quick little in-game. It's more of an arcade style game. So here you go. So as you can see, it is more, like I said, like an arcade style game. It's easy to pick up quickly and just jump into it and play a couple fun games. It gets a little frantic, and it's called Can't Turn Back for a reason. You cannot turn around. No matter where you are on the maze, you'll catch yourself, because I was kept wanting to reverse and go back, and you can't. You just got to go forward. So if you see another player coming in, there's strategy involved. When you see other players coming in, you got to speed up and take them out, or they can speed up. If they're the first ones to accelerate, they're going to take you out. So it's a fun little game, and it's going to be, they're going to release it on Steam at some point, was what I was told. So those were the two little indie games that I saw. One, like an RPG type of a deal, and the other one more arcade style. And I was enjoying both of them. I'm going to shoot another picture here for you. This is from the convention. This was one of the vendor booths that I came across. Yeah. Greyhawk Games. Apparently, it is a brand new gaming store here in Harriman, Utah, which is about 10 minutes from where I live. And I didn't know anything about it. That was the first time I'd seen anything about it. There's a business card. I don't know if you can see that. It's probably too much glare. But anyway, there is the business card. And so I went up and I just gave them my business card, which, of course, says Greyhawk 4x4 on it, everything. And I said, yeah, I said, I'm a big fan of the World of Greyhawk. And so the guy that was talking to me, he goes, oh, well, yeah, that guy over there, yeah, he's really big into D&D and everything. And so I went over and talked to him. And at no point did any of them say, hey, that's a cool handle you got, or anything else like that. So I wouldn't say necessarily that we all hit it off. I thought maybe because we shared the name Greyhawk in our, endeavors that we're doing. However, they're a new store. They haven't been around very long. And I've been around for a while. So, anyway, whatever you want to take away from that, I will go check out the store at some point. It sounds like a fun place. They have a website. They've got tabletop gaming, and they have a video game area apparently. So I'm interested to see how they're doing it, how big it is, and all that stuff. Anyway, it is what it is, and I thought you guys might find that interesting, that there's somebody out there called Greyhawk Games. So the next thing I want to talk about was I was a guest host last Thursday on Dungeon Crawlers Radio. It is a weekly podcast. They talk about gaming, movies, books, anything that you could consider geek culture. They talk about it. They've got a big following. I've been on them before. They've actually been here in the Greyhawks Tavern here, and they actually filmed here. They filmed one of their. They have a YouTube channel also called Fandom, and they actually filmed that here. And so I got invited because some of their hosts weren't able to make it, and they said, would you mind filling in? And I was like, no problem. So I will put a link below to that. So if you feel like checking out that episode, the title of that podcast was called The Geekiness of It All. And I'll put a link there for you. We talked about video games. We talked about movies. We talked about books. And one of the other guys that helped fill in, his name's David J. West. He's an author. And so we were talking a little bit about, books and that kind of stuff. And it turns out that one of my favorite publications, and it's just a local little thing here, it's called Utah Geek Magazine. And as you can see there, they've got a Dungeons and Dragons article on this one. But if you, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a serial in here that is written by David J. West. So he does a chapter for each episode, or each issue that comes out. So you can actually see the PDFs of this if you go to UtahGeekMagazine.com or whatever it is. UtahGeekMagazine.com. You can actually see the PDFs. They're all free. This is a free magazine, by the way. They just comes in. You can get it at the game stores and stuff locally here. But if you are interested and you want to read any of them, the free PDFs are on their website. So if you want to check it out, check out David West's stuff. They have some really nice articles and everything in here. And I saw these guys at the gaming convention, and I told them they got a kick out of this because I said I only read 3 periodicals. I read Gygax Magazine, PC Gamer, and Utah Geek Magazine. That's it. So, and they thought that was awesome. So, anyway, it's definitely worth checking out. Let's see. I think that's it. That's what the last week and a half or so that I've been doing. I don't know if I'll do any more videos this week. At my day job, it's my busiest week of the year. I walked about 30,000 steps today. So, and every day this week is probably going to be about the same. So I don't know if I'll do any more videos. I'm pretty beat. But I wanted to get this one done because I have been lazy and I wanted to get all of this content up there for you guys. So that should do it, guys. We'll catch you on the flip side.